Okay, so next up for Bayern is PSG. Bayern are favourites in this one.
No.
Do we have to factor Neuer into the equation here, Kasey?
I don't. Neuer has too much experience, and he'll look back. And I think sometimes as a goalkeeper, when you go through a really good spell, which I think Neuer has as he's come back from injury, sometimes you need that little moment to go, okay, let's bring it back down a little bit. And he obviously made the mistake and then wasn't great on the second goal as well. And that will give him that little bit of reflection to go, okay, let's get back to reality here and let's be a little safer. I'm not. Do
you think
I'm
so?
not invincible. No, but that's.
He's slightly. Well, I was going to say slightly bonkers. He's not. I mean, you just feel with him, as you said, he's been such a, and he's at the tail end of his career now.
Yeah.
But he has been such a brilliant goalkeeper for so long. But he's always been enigmatic.
But he's always been capable of that mistake with his feet because he's so overconfident with his ability with his feet that he takes risks that I in a million years would have never felt I was capable of playing that ball, so I would have never tried it. Now, he knows he can play that ball, but we also know that if you're going to put yourself in those positions, the mistake can come.
I just feel he's one of the goalkeepers, and there's not many of them, that when he makes a mistake, because he's been there, seen it and done it, he brushes it off so quick.
Well,
it's like, wow, it's not, he just, he'll make a mistake here and there, and he'll make a bad decision, and he'll come rushing out of his goal like he did it. If you remember the one at the Emirates against Arsenal?
Yeah.
I mean, some people don't go that far on their holidays. I mean, he was just, but you just feel with him, it'll happen, but he'll do something brilliant. I mean, like the save, okay, it was a little close to
against Mbappe.
The Mbappe save, it just comes at him so quick, the arm comes up, so, yeah.
Yeah, the other thing, it's also nice playing for a side that's averaging like 3.5 goals a match.
And Harry Kane's telling you not to worry.
Don't worry, I'll get a goal, and Michael will get a goal, and
it's just a shame
Luis will get a goal.
I mean, the draw is where it is, and that's but the PSG Bayern semi-final is just
feels like the final.
It feels like the two best teams in the competition. When you look at Atleti, and they're playing all right at the moment. In the Copa del Rey final at the weekend as well, they're playing all right. Arsenal, that's another story. It just feels like Bayern and PSG are the two best teams, but because of the side of the draw.
I think Atletico are so streaky, right? If they get on that streak, they could be something.
Well, let's stay on this. PSG, Bayern Munich. What a tie that is, Jurgen.
It's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I mean, I was last year at the Club World Cup in Atlanta where the horrible incident happened with Musiala and Donnarumma. It was the game of the Club World Cup, by far the best game. So it's two teams. They challenge each other everywhere on the field. It's everywhere on the field. It's a one-against-one situation. Both coaches are fascinated by these kind of high-pressure systems and going after people, winning back the ball right away after you lose the ball in a tempo that it's almost impossible to maintain that tempo for 90 minutes. I think, today we saw with Real Madrid, they played a good game until minute 55, 60, and then they were dead. And then more and more Bayern Munich controlled the game, and it was just a question of time until Bayern will score their goal. And having these two teams, PSG and Bayern Munich, now in that semi-final, it's going to be a joy to watch. That it will be full of energy. It will be high tempo everywhere. It will be outstanding individuals on the field. I think this is really something to look forward to.
It's very early to say, Jurgen, but we're going to do our early predictions. Who do you see going through to the final of these two sides?
Well, PSG is rising the bar at the right time. It's all about timing. There are these top teams in the world, and when March is coming along, April is coming along, you gotta prove your point. In PSG with Luis Enrique, it seems they're starting to peak. But I tell you that, I mean, I've been obviously in touch with a lot of people always in Munich. Bayern Munich is so hungry this season. They are so hungry. They want this so badly. And the good thing about their situation right now is all their players are coming back from injury. Musiala is recovering. Alphonso Davies is recovering. They are in full strength. They don't have any players really missing. And Manuel Neuer, I mean, obviously Kasey can describe him the best of all of us because he lived through these moments. Manuel Neuer is getting only better when he makes mistakes. Yeah. Because it's almost like a wake-up call for him. He says, okay, it's a refocus. When he did a mistake, very rarely he does those mistakes like he did today. It kind of, it motivates him even more. You know, he's probably tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock at the training ground and says to the goalkeeper coach, hit me some balls because I'm angry at myself. That's the character he is. And so it seems like this Bayern Munich squad, this team led by Harry Kane, they are peaking at the right time. But obviously with PSG, you never know. It's a fantastic, absolute fantastic semi-final.
One of the things Bayern has, and Craig alluded to it a little bit earlier with Harry Kane having a little bit of an injury, because of where they are in the league, 12 points clear, can clinch the title on Sunday if Dortmund drops points on Saturday. They could rest Harry Kane last weekend and get him that little bit fitter for this. If they're in a 1-point match with Dortmund for the title, maybe they don't have that ability. Now they can really make sure players get the right amount of game time going into this match.
They're going to make the final.
I mean, I think we've said for the majority of this season that we felt Bayern have been the best side in European football, and they proved it again against knocking out Real Madrid.
I think if you were to sit here and say, and prediction is really about guessing, isn't it, really? Because you never know what team selection is going to be and tactics and so forth. But putting all that aside, I think any of us, if I was to sit here and pick Bayern or PSG over each other, it's pretty much a guessing game, isn't it? Because it's so close. You know, you asked Jurgen a question about, is that arguably the best front line in Europe? Well, I think Luis Enrique, whilst he doesn't have the natural striker like Bayern have, you know, they have Gonzalo Ramos who's on the bench, he doesn't really play, but they have Dembele and Doué and Kvaratskhelia and Barcola, and so it's a different blend, you know. And then they have, you know, obviously, you know, you're hard pressed to find a midfielder who is more efficient on the ball than Vitinha in the middle of the park, along with Neves. Obviously, Fabian Ruiz is out at the moment, so you really would. If you said Bayern Munich, people would go, yeah. If you said PSG, it is that close between these sides, which makes, I think, a much more competitive game, not in terms of scoreline, than Real Madrid. Maybe in terms of the possession of the ball, scrapping over who's controlling the game. Because over these two games, that wasn't up for debate. Bayern Munich controlled the games, both of them. The big question is, in the head-to-head with PSG, who's going to win the wrestle for control of the game in the middle of the park? Because none of them are going to, I don't think any of them are going to play second string here and say, you can have the ball for 70% of the time.
No chance.
That's not how these two teams play. So it is going to be absolutely fascinating. And if this is a 0-0 between these two, I will be
impossible.
shocked.
Okay, well, let's take a look at their head-to-head so far when it comes to knockout stage meetings. 22-23, Bayern advance. 2021, PSG there, 3-3 advancing on away goals. 2019-20, that was the final, and it was Bayern 1-0. Coman with the goal, remember that now.